Welcome, everyone. Sorry, I'll get my mic over here so you guys can hear me. Welcome, everyone. We are at the beginning of our week. We are going to be diving into 2x leads and how we can get more leads for you guys in your business using your software, your sales process software. So today, what we're doing is we so often when we talk about leads and generating leads and getting leads, we talk about lead magnets and exchanging people's names and emails for a digital product or something like that, right? Something where they're giving us their email and name, and we are giving them some link. Maybe it's a video, maybe it's a PDF, maybe it's a checklist, booklet, something, right? This time, we're going to talk about giving 15 minutes of your time. I love this idea of generating leads because it gives you the opportunity to spend one-on-one time with the people in your world that need your services, that require the solution that you provide, and they are looking for what you need, or what they are looking for what you have to give them. They need what you have to give them. So, how about let's set up a system for giving people the opportunity to spend 15 minutes with you to discuss their problem, to get that one-on-one attention that they need, to really explore how you can help them. So rather than creating a digital product and then sending them into some nurture sequence where you don't ever really get a chance to talk to them, you actually get some face time with your ideal client and you get to talk to them about the issue or the problem that they're having. And you can really this is going to be the most valuable connection that you make, right? Because it's real, it's relationship based, and it's your chance to shine, and it's your chance to show your clients everything that you are and can be to them. So we're going to set up a system here within your sales process account, which is it's going to make it so easy. So we're going to set up a appointment calendar in the system. We're going to set up an appointment confirmation. We are also going to set up appointment reminders. So as the day and time gets closer, they receive reminders about their appointments. So this is going to help increase your show up rate. We're also going to set up a pipeline so that we can track these leads. Which sort of category of customer do they fall into after you speak with them? You get to decide and kind of label them, right? And then we're also going to create a follow-up system for what happens after the meeting, okay? You'll have to excuse if you hear some weird noises, it's my little dog laying down beside me. He's kind of snorting down there tonight. So I apologize if you hear him. So we are going to go and do that right now. Let me share my screen. Let me get everything set up here. 1 second. And we will jump in and share. All right. So inside of our sales process account, the very first thing we need to do is we need to actually create a calendar so that people can book their appointments with us, right? So inside of sales process, you're going to come over here to calendars. We're going to click on calendar. And we're going to click up here to calendar settings, okay? So yours isn't going to look quite like mine because I have mine integrated with some different things, but we're going to create a brand new calendar appointment. So we're going to go create calendar. And here you have to choose what type of calendar do you need. Do you need a round robin calendar? Is this going to be used by various members of your sales team? Is it a collective booking calendar where multiple hosts, so multiple staff members, meet with one participant? Is it a class booking where you have multiple participants meet with one teacher? Or is it just a personal booking? And for this in this case, it's a personal booking. There are more types of appointments here as well, but we're going to focus right now just on the personal booking. So we're going to choose a personal booking, and the first thing we have to do is give it a name. Okay, so I'm going to give this, uh, okay. And so here it already says who the team members are. If you wanted, you could add more users to here if you have them, more staff members. Here it just needs to have a custom URL, and it's not going to be my calendar because that one's always taken. So you sort of have to fix or choose which one you want to use. So I'll just say 15-minute consult, Tamara. Oh, let's see if I put the dashes in. That will make it. That should make it valid. There we go. And we're going to change this here to 15 minutes. And I'm going to be able to choose which days do I want to offer this 15-minute consultation. So I'm going to choose Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. Maybe I only want to do them Monday through Thursday and I don't offer it on a Friday. And then here I can choose my hours. Now I'm going to be able to further customize these. So we'll go into the advanced settings to do that. You can also choose to accept payments in your calendars, but that's not something we're doing here. We are completely looking at this appointment as a lead magnet, as the opportunity for people to book time with us to talk about how we can help them, right? And it's free. It's completely free. So we're not doing that. Then we're going to go over to advanced settings and we're going to get into setting this up a little bit better. So here you can upload a logo if you want, your company logo, or maybe you could upload an image of yourself if it's your calendar. You could do that. You can also put in here a description. Let's say, let's connect to see if I can help you solve your problem. All right. Now, if you wanted, you could assign a particular appointment type to a group. If you had, several different types of appointments and you wanted to put them into groups, you could do that here, but we're not going to do that right now. I always like to put this. So this is going to pull in, this is a custom value. It's going to pull in their name, but I also want to pull in I want them to see what it looks like on the calendar. So I want them to see on their calendar who they're meeting with. If I just leave it like this, all it says is contact name. It doesn't say anything else. It doesn't say it doesn't say who the appointment is with. So I always like to make sure that I fill this out and put and Tamara, 15-minute consult. Okay. And so that will then appear on their calendar and it'll be a reminder as to who they're having the meeting with and just sort of what it's about, right? So I always like to edit this piece. Otherwise, it just has their name on it. So I highly recommend that you fill that out so that they can know, like people have busy schedules, right? My calendar is a nightmare when I look at it because I just have so much stuff on it. So I appreciate it when I can look at an appointment and I know exactly who it's with and what it's about. All right, so then you have the opportunity here to select the team members and assign the meeting location. So here I'm the only team member in my account, but if you had more users, you could then choose them to put them in here as well if you wanted more than one staff member to be available to take these types of calls. And then this is where we decide our meeting location. Now, meeting location can be on Zoom, it can be Google Meet, it can be over the phone, it can be an address, like an actual physical local address. It can be for the person who's booking the appointment can decide the location, can like type in the location. And it can also work with Microsoft Teams. Okay. So lots of times what I'll do is I have a Zoom meeting room link that I'll just pop in there. It's the same link for all of mine. If you want to generate if you want to generate different dynamic Zoom links for every appointment, then you want to connect with Zoom. Okay. Now it's going to tell me that I'm not connected. I don't have it integrated with this account. But if you had it integrated, you'd be able to choose Zoom. So I'm just going to put in just a fake link here for this, but you could put in whatever you want, right? You would put in your Google or your Zoom link here. Now, if you wanted to integrate with Google Meet, you would have to have that integrated with your sales process account first, and then it will generate a Google Meet link when it sends out the invitation. If you wanted it to send out a specific or unique Microsoft Teams link, you would have to have that integrated first, and then you could choose that here. Okay. And then of course you can always choose your event color if you want a particular type of appointment to appear on your calendar as a certain color. So you can color code them, right? So let's just choose red. And up here, I'm going to go up to and save this. And then it's going to take me to the next section here, which is availability. And here is where I get to determine if I want, these are the hours that I want, or if I only want to see people in the morning, maybe I only want to do from 8 till 10, and I change this to AM. And if I wanted to put this across to all 4 days that I'm doing this, I would just copy them to copy to all. Okay. And then apply it and it changes them. Oops. So it grabbed all the days, which I meant was just the Monday through Thursday. Then your calendar also has the ability here to look busy. And what that means is it can block off slots in your calendar to make it look like you're more busy than you are. And you can determine a percentage here of how many of the slots you want to hide. So you can choose like 10%, 30%, and what it'll do is it will block out 30% of your available slots. People use this, especially if they have if they do bookings all day long. And they have an entire week where they're doing that, and maybe they want it to appear like they have less availability than they do. It's sort of like a scarcity kind of tactic. I don't usually use it. I'm a pretty transparent person. If I'm here and you want to talk to me and there's availability on my calendar, I'm happy to jump on with you. So I don't usually use it, but it's up to you. And for this particular case that we're building for this 15-minute free consultation, which we are classifying as a lead magnet, it's not going to be a recurring meeting, right? It's just a one-time meeting with us. So our meeting interval is going to be 15 minutes. Our duration is 15 minutes. What's the difference between the interval and the duration? The duration is how long your meeting is. The interval is where you want the meeting to start. So do you want it to start at the top of the hour? Is it okay to start at the quarter of the hour? So like 12:15, somebody could choose that. 12:30, 12:45. Or do you only want them to be able to choose the top of the hour and maybe the half hour mark? So then you would choose this as 30 minutes if that was the case. And then how much notice do you require for them? For something like this, which is more there's not much prep involved for this, right? It's really just about grabbing their information and having a conversation with them. I don't know that I would need more than, a couple hours of notice, maybe 1 hour of notice even, depending on what your day looks like. Completely, you can set this up for whatever works best for you. Right? So here I'm just going to put in, I need an hour's notice just so I know, if I'm out running to grab my kids from school, I can still get back home in time if somebody books an appointment while I'm out or whatever. Okay. And then here, this date range is how far in the future of your schedule can they book, right? Do you only want them to be able to book 30 days out, 45, 60 days? Maybe you only want to do 14 days, right? I usually do 30 because I pretty much know what my month looks like, but it really depends on you. What do you want in there? And then you can decide here how many bookings per day do you want to take. You can put in a maximum. So if you want to have like 10 or maybe you only want to do 5 a day, right? So you can put in 5. And then here you can choose how many bookings per slot. So this allows you to double book, which is always kind of a dicey thing to do because you never know if that's going to work out or not because people do show up for these appointments. Um, or if you have 2 staff members that are doing these, then you can put in 2 slots per time period, right? But I'm just going to leave it at 1. And then this is the buffer time. So how many minutes before each meeting and how many minutes after each meeting do you want to put in as sort of buffer so that you have a chance to go grab a drink of water or run to the washroom or whatever it is that you need to do. You can set those up as well. I'm just going to leave them blank for now. And then I'm going to save and go to the next one. And the next portion of the calendar is choosing whether you want to have a form attached to your calendar booking. So are you asking pre-qualifying questions beforehand? Do you want to set up a form to do that? And what if you do set up a form, do you want the form to appear first, or do you want them to select the date and time of their appointment? And you can move these around. You can move them around just by grabbing them and changing which order they're in. So you just click on it and grab it and change the order of what that appears in. This is also where they're going to consent to sign up for text reminders if you send out text reminders for appointments. And it's also where they sign up for if you're sending marketing email as well after they sign up for an appointment. Do you allow them to add guests to the booking? So this is where the person booking the appointment with you has the opportunity to add a guest. You can toggle that on or off. And then this is whether you want to show this default message, and you can customize that just by clicking in here and making changes. Or do you want to send this to a link? Do you have some landing page set up for your appointments, that sort of thing? Then here is where you put your Facebook pixel ID if you are tracking appointment conversions. And here is if you want to just automatically have the appointment confirmed when they book it, you can do that by toggling. This is on by default. If you want to set up a confirmation process, that's when you would shut this off. And so then you would have to build that in. They would book the appointment, then a message would go out to them saying that the appointment was booked and they needed to reply to confirm it. So then they'll reply to your message and then that would actually confirm confirm the appointment. So just remember that if you don't auto confirm the new booking, you have to set up a process for them to confirm their appointment. And then here is where you can set up your payments for time spent. But remember what we're building here is a lead magnet. This is 15 minutes of your time. So we're not taking payment. It's free. And here it allows you to manage your payment providers if you want for calendar bookings. So you can set that up here. If you don't want to use Stripe, you can use something else. Okay. So we're going to save that and move forward to the notifications and additional options. Now, this is brand new in here. This is great. It's great and it's not great. So it's great that if all you want to do is send a confirmation to them and a reminder and the ability to, schedule, cancel, reschedule, that sort of thing, it's great. Because you don't have to go then and build a workflow to go with your appointment calendar. You can set it all up here. So you can turn on email notifications for when the calendar is booked or when the appointment's booked, when the appointment's confirmed. If it's canceled, an email can go out. If it's rescheduled, if it's a reminder email. And you can also add, so let's say I want to send a reminder email, I'd have to enable this. Then I would send who is the reminder email going to go to. For me, I just need it to go to the contact. I don't need it to go to me, and I don't need any additional emails at the moment. So I want to put that in there, and I'm going to hit save. And that saves that. Oh, let me see. I think I'm getting an error message. I just can't see it under the Zoom. Just one sec. Let me see. Let's save this. Oh, okay. Settings saved, it said. Perfect. And then once that's set up, you can see here, I have a reminder email set up. If I want, I can add an additional email. So this email can go out like an hour before the before the appointment starts. I can send out and say, hey, our appointment's in an hour. Here's the link, what a reminder says, and then just save that. And so that would be a 1 hour reminder there. Okay. So you can set up this here. I still like to set up a workflow I will still set up a workflow for my clients because I always pair my appointments and I put them into a pipeline tracking, right? So for tracking and for lead follow up, that sort of thing, I like to put them into a pipeline. And at this point, right now, I can't add a pipeline action in here. I can't add them to a pipeline through the booking process. So I still like to manipulate the workflows and use that so that I can add them to a pipeline. Okay. So I just turn these off. I'm going to show you how to do that. You just come in here and you disable it and save that. And then these ones here are they're saying that it's in app. So what that means is you would get a notification in your sales process account that somebody had booked an appointment or had confirmed an appointment. Okay. And then here you can decide, are you going to allow people to reschedule if they want to? And are you going to allow them to cancel? And you can even put in when is the last possible moment they can cancel. Like if you don't want them to cancel 24 hours prior to your meeting, you can change this so that it says they can't cancel after 24 hours before the meeting. That way they have to show up or they have to reach out to you to cancel the appointment, right? Okay. So that's all of that. Then we're going to save that and we're going to go into customizations here. All of this is just branding. So in here, you can upload, it tells you the pixel size and everything that you need to upload for that. And then you can also decide what your branding colors are here. And you can decide if you want the calendar title, description, and details included, and anything else that you want to include there. And then any custom code that you wanted to add to styling the calendar, you can put in there. Okay, so we've completely created our 15-minute consult calendar. Now, if we look at this, and I'm just going to bring it up here, if I look at sharing this, so there's a couple of new features inside of your calendar. You can now troubleshoot your calendar. If you are having any trouble, you can click on this and it will point out any areas that are missing or that aren't working properly. And there's little guides that will help you walk through fixing them. This here is how you can share your calendar link. So you can click on this and you have a couple of different ways that you can share this. You can share a scheduling link by copying this. You can use a permanent link that cannot be edited. This would be like something you'd want to put on your website. or something like that. You could copy that. You can use a one-time link to send to a client, right? This, they can only book one appointment with this link. They can't come back and book another free 15-minute consult with you. So that might be an ideal way to save this link and then send that to people so that they can only use it one time. Or you can embed your calendar on any kind of page builder so that it shows up, okay? So there is how you share your link. So now we have our calendar built. Now we have our link established where people can go to book their call with us. And remember, I said that at the very beginning, we're going to build a pipeline for this because we want to be able to track the people that are booking our appointment with us. So where we go to build pipelines, it's called opportunities. And we're going to go up here to pipelines. And we're going to build out a pipeline. We're going to call it exactly the same name that we named our calendar. 15-minute free consult. Okay. And so we can put here, we can put booked. We're going to want to put showed. No show. We can put canceled. And then we may want to figure out categories for them, right? So if we do meet with them and we spend 15 minutes with them, maybe what we need to do is decide what sort of buyer level they're at. Are they a cold buyer, warm, or a hot buyer? Maybe that's how we can classify them and we can keep track of them. So we can say cold, we can say warm, and we can say hot. And so this is how we're going to track anybody that books an appointment with us. Okay. So we're going to save that. Now we have our pipeline built and we have our calendar built. The next thing that we move on to then is the automations, the workflows that are going to manage this new lead generation system that we have. So we'll go over here to automations. And the very nice thing about this is that there are recipes for calendar bookings already. So we're not going to spend a lot of time building something from scratch. We're going to use something that's already built. Okay, so we're going to go over here to create workflow and we're going to select a recipe. So the one that we want to use is we want a recipe for booking an appointment, but also let's see if we can find it here. Appointment booking here, but we want appointment booking confirmation and reminder. Do we have confirmation and reminder follow-up? I thought we used to have one of those. Let me see. Oh, right here. This one actually says review request, which is not something we're too interested in, but we can tweak this one to make it fit our needs. The other ones that I want to point out to you here are there is a recipe for no-shows. So that would be another workflow that we would use with this lead generation system. We would want to set up a way so that we can, if they don't show up for their appointment, we want to send them a message and encourage them to reschedule, right? So this is a recipe that we could use. We're going to start with this one first. So we'll take a look at this one. So I'm going to choose this and select this one. And then it's going to do its magic. And we're going to go and take a look at this. Okay. So here, the first thing we're going to start with is the trigger. So it shows that it's appointment and it says that it's confirmed. I want to add a few more filters into this trigger so that it's only for my 15-minute calendar consult, right? So I'm going to add some more filters in here to say in calendar, and then I'm going to choose I'm going to say this one, the free 15-minute consult, and save that. Now, as soon as they book that appointment, this is the confirmation email that goes out. Of course, instead of doing this, you can create a branded template and pull that in instead, or you can just go with what's here. Okay, but this is really what it's using. It's using the first name, it's using the start date and time zone. And then the other thing you'd want to put in here as well is the location. So you'd want to put this, you'd want to say, because it's a Zoom link, right? So we're going to say, click here to join our Zoom meeting when it's time. And then I would put here, and I'm going to grab the custom meeting or the calendar, and oh, it says that's not what I want. Appointment. Here we go. Appointment. And I want to grab the meeting location. That's going to actually be the link to the Zoom meeting to join our Zoom meeting when it's time. Okay. So we're going to save that. So this is great. It's confirmed. Then 24 hours before the appointment, they're going to get a reminder email. And if you have it set up, you can also send them a text message reminding them about their appointment. Then 1 hour before their appointment, the same thing will happen. They'll receive another reminder. And then you have this step here where it's 1 hour after their appointment. You could send them. So here, this is set up as an internal notification. And this is a prompt for you to decide which category do they fall in. Now, you don't have to wait to receive this prompt. As soon as your meeting's done, you can put them into that pipeline stage by classifying them as cold, warm, or hot. But this is going to be a reminder to do that. So it'll be, you can, it'll say, how did the appointment with the contact name go? And then you can change here. You can say cold, warm, hot. And that's how you would be able to remind yourself to classify that lead. So as you have these leads coming in and booking appointments with you, you are also categorizing them so that you know who to follow up with and what is the priority to follow up with them, right? Now, this is interesting. This has a trigger link in it. Now, I'm not sure what that would be for. Let me just see. Let's go through this. They've advanced this recipe a little bit since the last time I've looked at it. So did they click link 1, show and paid? Okay, so this is what they've set this up for is if it's a paid appointment. So that's not something we're doing. So I think we'll probably get rid of this piece. We're going to delete that. We're not using a trigger link for this. But what we could do is after the meeting, 1 hour after, is we could also send them an email, right? Send them an email that says, it was so great to meet with you. Just something that's nurturing, right? Something that says, it was great to meet with you. I hope you found our discussion helpful. Or anything else that you want to include in a message that you send to somebody after you meet with them. Okay, so here I'm just going to put test, and this is post appointment. Okay, and then I think we're going to get rid of the rest of this because this is all about sending out review requests. So I'm going to get rid of this. One thing I do want to add up here is we want to put in the pipeline stages, okay? So once this is booked, we want to update our pipeline. So we're going to update the opportunity. Okay, so we're going to choose the pipeline and it's going to be this one. We're going to say that it's booked and we're going to put in contact name. And the status is open, right? Because we haven't won the lead or closed the lead. So then we can also decide, do we want them to be able to move to any previous stage in the pipeline? Not really. Can they allow duplicate? You really only want to give them this once, right? Like this is kind of a one-time thing. You meet with them for 15 minutes. So I would just leave it like that. So that's going to update to booked. Then after the meeting, you are going to want to also, if they showed up, you're going to want to put in here an update for the pipeline. So we'll update the pipeline and we're going to put in here that they showed, right? And we're still going to be open because they're still just a lead. So they've moved to open. And then in the other workflows that we have to support the calendar, that's where we're going to update those other pipeline stages. So with the no-show sequence, we would want to update the pipeline to say that they were a no-show. And we would put that pipeline stage update in there. Okay, so now we basically have the sort of first part of this built out. We have the calendar, we have the pipeline, and we have the workflow. And the workflow that confirms the appointment and sends them reminders to show up. And then we also have a nurture message that goes out at the end. You can build this out even more advanced than that, right? So after the appointment, maybe you request them to take some sort of action and you need to follow up with that. Maybe you want to throw them into, based on whether you decided if they're cold, warm, or hot, you might want to build out a different workflow for that. So you could decide if they're a hot lead, you're going to present them with an offer right away. If they're a cold lead, maybe they need to go into a nurture sequence to get to know you better, right? But this is probably my favorite type of lead generation system because it gets you actual FaceTime with your ideal audience. It gives you that one-on-one time with them. You get to know them, they get to know you, and you get to spend some time with them and you get to find out exactly what's going on with them and how you can help them. Whereas if you have lead magnets that are digital, it's really hard to get any feedback from the person who downloads that, right? You may never hear from them again. They might sign up for that lead magnet and you might not ever hear from them again. But when you give away your time as a lead magnet in the form of a 15-minute consult, you really get the opportunity to make that connection and build that relationship. Any questions? John, you're my only attendee tonight.
Yeah, I think
How are you?
this is good, Tamara. How are you?
Good, good.
This is the meeting that shifted 1 hour earlier, no? So I think a lot of people are finding it difficult.
Oh, are they still? Okay.
This is my 5:30 a.m. for me.
It's 5:30 in the morning for you. Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. You're up early.
This notification is there, no, Tamara.
Yes.
Internal notification.
Hmm.
Does that come in as an email or does it come in as a pop-up on the app?
You can choose. So if
Ha.
you choose the action internal notification, you can choose whether it's an email, whether it's a notification in the app, or if you
Mhm.
have it set up, you can even receive it as a text message.
No.
So you can choose. It doesn't have to be email if you don't
Done.
want. So,
Ha.
yeah.
Now,
It just go ahead.
having a team inside the calendar, how does that work? Does it sync with all three of their Google calendars? Um,
Yes.
okay.
So what if you have a team of people that you have booking appointments? What you want to use is what we call a round robin calendar. So I can
Hmm.
show you that. This type of calendar that we built today is just a personal calendar. So if we go into the calendars on the side here, if we go into the calendar settings, if we create a new calendar, round robin is the one that I like to use with a sales team or with your team of people that you have that set up appointments. Because what it does is it will distribute the appointments among team members in a rotating order.
Ah, okay.
So it'll be based on number one, first, their availability. So
Mhm.
all they have to do on their user profile is connect their availability, like set up their availability.
Mhm.
And whether they're integrating that with a Google Calendar or an Apple Calendar or a Outlook Calendar, they can do that on their user profile. And then the round robin calendar will make whoever is number one available to take the next appointment that the client wants to book, and then who's next in line. That's kind of how it goes
Hmm.
for that. So.
Awesome.
And you can even, like I said, there's you can have more than one staff member attend a meeting. You
Mhm.
can make it so that it's, for you and your partner both attend the meeting, right?
Mhm.
And then it will look to make sure that you both have availability for that appointment.
That-
Any other questions about calendars?
Mm, calendars. This looks good, Tamara.
Okay.
Uh,
All right.
I have one doubt with the trigger links.
Yes.
Um, how do I add a trigger link? Like if they click on a Zoom link, I want them to be added to an automation
If they click on a Zoom link.
link. They should be
Okay.
added to an because I'm trying
Okay.
to see give them the community points for attending my live sessions.
Ah, okay. That's awesome. I love that. Okay. So you would create your trigger link then in
Mhm.
here, and your trigger link, you would just create it, add your link. It would be your Zoom
Zoom.
link, whichever,
Mhm.
and you would put your Zoom link in here.
Hmm.
Then you're going to save it. So let's say it's Google. I'm just going to use Google.
Mhm.
Save it. And then when you use that as the link for that goes out to them for the meeting reminder or whatever, you're going to want to, first of all, we have to get the link. So the link is going to be right here. Just one sec. Let's look up. Here it is. This is what you're going to copy. So
Hmm.
the link key here is what you're going to copy. And this is what you're going to put inside your calendar. So you're going to go over here to the calendar and we'll go into that 15-minute booking calendar that I just made.
Mhm.
This one here, I'd edit it. And in my custom here, what I would put is I would paste the trigger link. Do you see
Hmm.
how I did that? So I
Yeah, but
copied the link key,
mhm.
and that's going to show the trigger link, and it's still going to take them to the Zoom room.
Mhm.
Then you have to build the workflow for when they click on that link.
Hmm.
So you would save this, and then you'd
Mhm.
go out and build the automation for the trigger link. So you'd go to
Nice.
automations and then build that trigger link. So your trigger would be the trigger link. And so we would choose that one. We tell the system it's the Zoom link.
Mhm.
And then when they click on that Zoom link, then you can add a tag or Give them
Come.
points,
Huh.
whatever you want to happen. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, you just have to get the what do they call that? The link key and put that into the location of your calendar.
Uh-uh.
And then that will become a trigger link.
Now this uh, I got confused when you did the calendar thing, because when in calendar, when they click, they will get their own Zoom link when it gets created, right? The Zoom link will get created, right?
Well, if you're going to use a trigger link, then they need to receive the same link all the time. So you have
Ah,
to set up in Zoom, it has to be the same link all the time. So you know how, okay, let's like go into, let's go look at Zoom here. Just one sec. So if
uh-huh.
we go into Zoom here, you're going to see like we have all of the calls in Zoom for a sales process, right? So if I want to grab this link, I have to come in here. This is the link. This is the registration link,
Uh-huh.
and I would copy that, and that then would be what I would create the trigger link with. So I would come to trigger links. I would create the trigger link for that Zoom link. And instead, I have Google here. I would put in the Zoom link. Oops, I didn't copy this. One sec. Didn't I? I thought I copied it. Okay, hold on. Let's see if that works again. There we go. So now I have the Zoom link in there, right? Save. So now it changed from Google to the Zoom link. Now this link is a registration link. My own personal Zoom, if I show you my own personal Zoom, I have one link. It's the same link all the time for all my meetings. I don't ever like have a different one. So for that one, if I go into my own Zoom, just one sec, I'll show you. Because it's different than a registration. You don't want a registration link necessarily, because that will prompt them to register. You just want to use the same link all the time.
Mm-mm.
Let me see here.
It's like the personal meeting room or something, is it?
Yes, it's your personal meeting room link. That's right.
Ah.
That's the one that you'd want to
Mm-mm.
put in for the trigger link so that it never changes.
Mm-mm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Awesome.
Now, if I have to send it to external people, I like if I even if I have to send that the Zoom link on WhatsApp, yeah, I have to send them the trigger link and not the Zoom link.
Mm.
Oh no, I'll send them the Zoom link, and when they click on
Yeah.
it, it will happen.
No, it only happens if the trigger link is sent. It only works if it's sent
Mm-hmm.
within sales process. So you have to either send it by email, SMS, text message, or WhatsApp within sales process.
Ah, okay, okay.
So that's the only way the trigger link works. It doesn't work outside of sales process.
Right, right. Okay.
Okay? Yeah. Because if the contact doesn't exist already in your account, there's no
Mm-hmm.
way for it to get that information.
Hmm. But if they're already there in the contact and I send it to them on WhatsApp, would it work?
It has to be sent from inside of
From
sales
inside.
process. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It needs the software to work. So,
Right. I'll have to
yeah.
create an automation for my weekly sessions for it to go 1 hour
Yes.
before the session.
Yeah. Yeah. Then, yeah, if you create a WhatsApp automation in sales process, then you can use the trigger link in there.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay. I love that you're gamifying that and giving them points for that, for showing up. And that's great. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yes, yes.
So, what else is happening? Tell me what else is going on.
I don't know, like So what I've done now, I've created this program for both parents and children,
Yes.
and I'm using the Toastmasters format where they have an inner circle call with me, and they meet on their own as club meetings.
Oh,
That's
cool.
that's what I'm doing, and my opt-in right now is get guest passes to both of these events for parents and children.
Okay. I love
Uh,
that.
yeah, one problem I have there is people don't attend the whole meeting. They just come in for like 5-10 minutes and then they leave because it's a meeting, a club meeting that's happening. It's an online club meeting.
Oh, okay. So, what if, so if it's, who runs the meeting?
The club members.
The club members. Is there a way that you could create some kind of incentive for them to stay to the end? Like, could you give them something to stay to the end of the meeting?
Hmm. Okay. Yeah. So my promotion itself will go out saying when you come for the meeting, you will get this by the end of the meeting times. No.
Yeah, that sort of
Ah,
thing. Like, that's what a lot
yes.
of people will do when they run online webinars. They'll say, if you stay to the end, I have this really cool gift to give you.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
That.
That
Yeah.
might help with like attendance. They might stay then till the end if there's
Hmm.
something that you could give them. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It might be
Okay.
worth testing, though, hey?
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Awesome.
Hi,
Thanks so much.
Christine. I see you. Is the training starts at 9 a.m. So, John, we're having some issues with our time zones here. We've been having them for quite a while. Um, the meeting started at where are you located, Christine? You're in Singapore. Okay, so is that like pretty much the same as Kuala Lumpur? Is that the same time zone? Yes? Okay. So it started at, yeah, 8 a.m. Malaysia. That's what time. So yes, we're still sorting out time zone issues because of daylight savings time here in Canada and the US. It's screwing everyone up. I want to check office hours. Does it say on there? Let's see. Okay, Tuesday's call. Oh, it still says 9 a.m. and it should be 8 a.m.
Oh,
This should be 8, right?
yeah.
John?
Yes. Yeah.
That
It said
should
8
say
a.m.
8.
last week.
It did say 8 a.m.?
Yeah.
Ugh, why is it changing? Yeah, I apologize, Christine. It looks like we've got some misinformation up on the site here. We'll get that fixed. This should read 8 a.m. And just so you guys know, this is actually my last um 2X leads class with you guys. This is my
Oh,
last one. I'm still here on Thursdays, but
okay.
I won't be doing the Tuesday calls anymore. The team is making some decisions about maybe moving me to Mondays, but I haven't heard a final word yet. So I'm definitely still here on Thursdays, but this is my very last Tuesday class, and I'm not sure who's taking over.
Hmm.
So,
Okay.
yeah,
I don't attend the Monday ones.
you
It's
don't
launch.
attend the Monday ones. Okay.
Yeah. Launchpad. It's the same.
Yes. Yeah, they just do onboarding, I think there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, the team is making a few changes. I'm still waiting to hear back definitively about what those changes look like, but I will let them know about the incorrect time on the page for the office hours here. We'll get that switched to read 8 a.m. And then just double check the Melbourne time too, as well, I guess. I have no idea what time it is in Australia right now. So, Christine, today what we did was we built a lead generation system using 15-minute free consult booking appointments. And we built out a calendar with a pipeline and some workflows. So the recording will go into the university, and if you want, you can go and watch that there if that was something you were interested in. I apologize that you missed it due to the time zone issue. Um, and yes, so for the homework for the Facebook contest is just going to be if you can show me that you built the calendar. So we'll just go into the calendar here. I'll just show you here. If you can just show me the like a screenshot of the calendar that you booked it or that you created it, just what you can just show me the first page of this and then the workflow that you built with it to go and update your pipeline for it. So that one was this here. Oh, I didn't even give it a name. I should give it a name. Oh, that was the trigger link one. Hold on. There's this one. And so here we had the appointment was booked and we specified which calendar it was being booked in. And then it sends a confirmation email. We update the pipeline to show that the calendar or the appointment was booked. Then it waits until 24 hours before the appointment, sends a reminder email to the person who booked the appointment. And it can also send a text message if you have that set up in your account. And then it sends a 1 hour reminder and it sends a sort of like a thank you for attending the meeting, a post appointment email 1 hour after the appointment. So those were the steps that we went through today in this workflow. And so if you can just take a picture of this for your screenshot for the Facebook contest, you can post that in the Facebook group with the hashtag sales process wins. And I'm still waiting to hear from the team what the new prizes are. I haven't heard. So hopefully they'll be able to let me know soon. And they also have to post the winners for March because we haven't seen those yet either. Yes. There. Any questions?
Tamara, when will it be uploaded to the university?
The team tries to get it up within 24 hours. So they'll upload the recording there in 24 hours and then you'll have access to it.
Okay.
Okay?
I'll catch up from the video.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks. And I will let the team know they need to update that page about the time there. So,
Okay.
all right. Well, it's great to see everybody. And it was great to see you, Christine, even if it was just for a few minutes. Thanks for joining us. And everybody else, take care. Have a great rest of your week. And I will see you guys back on Thursday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you, Christine. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hi, John.